What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. So I just got done a few hours ago before I had to go to physical therapy. I got done watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. Um, his version, his vision, what he wanted to be put on the big screen, and I made another video of the trailer number 2 I put out a few days back, and really bashing the original Justice League that came out because it was terrible. I stick to what I said. Cyborg looked horrible in that movie. The CGI was really bad. Everybody knows this. There's whole posts out there on the internet about how bad the CGI was in that movie. Superman's face just looked goofy. It didn't look right. So I put a whole video out on that. I'll leave the link up here if you want to go back and check that out first and watch that, and then come back and watch this, or watch this and wait till the end. And I'll put a link down in the description below for that video if you want to go back and check it. But I was very, very skeptical of this Zack Snyder's cut of the movie, 4 hours and 2 minutes, the whole shebang coming out on HBO Max. So I watched it. I broke it into 2 parts. I watched half of it late last night. I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay up to watch the whole thing, so I cut it off, finished watching it today. And that might be a good way to do it. It's 4 hours. It's not really much different than binge watching a series on Netflix or something. So, kind of think of it that way. It's actually, when you watch the movie, it's I think six chapters. It'll say chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I think it's broken into 6 chapters, and then like a prologue or something like that. But I was very skeptical of the movie going into the movie. And I hate to tell you this, but I was dead wrong. This movie redeemed Justice League. This movie was fantastic. I loved this movie. It was great. It's got a lot to it. There is a lot to this movie. I'm not going to put spoilers in my review because I want you to go out and watch it. Just, if you don't have HBO Max, I think it's like $15 a month. $15. I picked it up because a lot of the new movies coming out are coming out on HBO Max. So they made a deal, and there's going to be a lot of movies that are coming out theater and HBO Max at the same time. So I'm like, $15 a month, why not do that? So anyways, it's great. They did a great job. They fixed all the terrible editing. The story is all there. When you watch the original come out, it felt like there was so much missing. This is such a different story than that first movie. It's amazing. I don't know if anything like this has ever been done before, where the fans were so upset about a movie coming out that they actually got them to okay remaking the movie and re-releasing it. And it was a great thing that they did. It was a great thing that they did because this movie is what the fans wanted. This is what the DCU needed. It needed this so bad because they've had so many misses in the DCU movies out there, and this movie was great. It's a long movie. If you don't want to sit that long, just break it up into pieces and watch it over a couple of days. Or, just hack out a 4-hour chunk in your day and watch it. You get the backstory. You get a lot of backstory on Cyborg, and they fixed the way Cyborg looked. Is he perfect all the time? No. But it's still 1,000 times better than it looked in the original cut of this movie. And you get such a story of him, and a feeling of who he is, and you get a real background. He was just almost like a side thing in the original movie. He's a huge part of this movie. He's like an integral part of this movie. In fact, all the characters pretty much are. It's not just focused on Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman. You get all the characters really doing their part in this movie, and it really paid off. Redoing this movie was the best thing they could have done. Do yourself a favor and watch it. Like I said, if it's just too long to watch in one setting, break it up into different settings and watch it. I watched it, half of it, like I said, the one night, and the rest of it this morning. Such a good movie. You get more story into the Flash. Like I said, I don't care too much about how nerdy, geeky they made the Flash in this movie, but it feels a little better. It doesn't feel so odd in this movie. Like the first movie, he just felt weird, like a little weirdo. But in this movie, he just feels more like he's super young. He's just getting his chance to really use his powers and be part of the team, and he's super stoked about that and willing to do what it takes, on the team. You get some more of his dad and stuff like that in it, and a little more of his background. There's just so much in this movie. This movie felt to me like Lord of the Rings and Clash of the Titans smashed together. That's what this movie felt like to me. Lord of the Rings, Clash of the Titans, just all smashed in together. Because you get the old stuff from Wonder Woman's side and then Aquaman's side. It's so cool that they really did a good job on this movie. The story makes sense in this movie, whereas in the original cut it was so badly chopped up and integral parts were left laying on the cutting room floor, and the movie just didn't make sense in parts. Now you'll still see scenes that were from that movie, but they actually fit in this movie now. They fit. And that's what's so great about it. That and the fact that they fixed the CGI. But yeah, great movie. Some good banter between the Flash and Aquaman. They got a good little thing going there with joking with each other a little bit. And the Cyborg just is a great character in this movie. Just kind of tormented, in the movie from his family. It's a really good movie. There are slow parts in the movie, but they're needed in the movie. And, it's not all action all the time. There's some great action in this movie, but you also get a lot of backstory put in. Would it have been better to break this up in different movies and have a whole Cyborg movie first to introduce him? The Flash movie to introduce him? Probably. It probably would have been better to do it that way. But they're trying to play catch up, with the Marvel Universe, with all their big movies, coming out. So they tried to cram all of this into one movie. It's a long movie, but it has to be done this way. And it is great. Big applause to Zack Snyder for bringing this out for the fans to watch. Great movie, man. If you haven't checked it out, go to HBO Max. Check it out. I think it's like $15 a month. $15, pay for it for a month, and then let it go. You're not under any contract on it. I don't get anything for trying to push HBO Max. I'm not trying to push HBO Max. It's just where the movie is. So check it out. You'll be glad you did. If you're a fan of DC, you're a fan of the Batman and Superman and all that. Man, this really worked. Oh, also, I've always hated the Joker from this series. Never liked this. He's my least favorite, but his scene in this movie, and he's just got a scene. He's not a big part of the movie. There's just a scene in it with him and Batman having a back and forth, and it is fantastic. You know, like I said, not a huge Jared Leto fan of the Joker. Personally, I know a lot of people love him. Love that. It's just not my cup of tea. But in this movie, he was good. He was great. And that scene with him and Batman in this movie was great. So, anyways, appreciate you watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you next time. I'm Chewy Solo, and this is Black and Red. See ya.